Hello everyone, bachatarockstar here, and welcome to another Rockstar Expressions video. Today I'm going to do a in-depth lyrical analysis of The Weeknd's Starboy. And it's kind of nuts because, like, if you haven't heard this song, where the fuck have you been? Because it's been all over the radio and it's been crazy. But it's funny because, like, I found myself singing the song. I'm like, it's kind of cool, it's funny, it's just kind of a simple little brag song, no big deal. But the more I read the lyrics and the more I started listening to it and thought about it, the more I feel like there is a really, really interesting thing going on in this song. And it doesn't have just the simple sort of bragging that on the surface it may appear to do. And I think it's actually a very interesting cautionary tale, and you'll see as I get into it more. But let's take a look at the lyrics right over here. Trying to put you in the worst mood, P1 cleaner than your church shoes, yeah. Trying to put you in the worst mood. He doesn't care. Doesn't care what you think. Doesn't care how you're feeling. He's just gonna make you mad. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. P1 cleaner than your shirt shoes. P1 is, I believe, a really, really expensive car. I'm not exactly sure which it is. I believe it's like a Ferrari or something like that. Milli.2 just to hurt you all. 1.2 million just to hurt you. And here's where we start to see the little bit of where's the change, right? So he doesn't care, and he's got a really nice car. Okay, no big deal. This sounds just kind of like rich guy bragging. But now he's paying all this money just to hurt you. Now, I think we've all heard the term fuck you money, where, you've got so much money nobody can tell you what to do or how to feel. But I think this kind of goes beyond that. I think this is more he is like trying to hurt people. And the weird part is like, why would you do that if you had that much money? Why would it matter? I mean, yes, you can spend all that money, but The Weeknd is not like your typical rapper guy who's just kind of like, oh, look at me, I blew 100,000 at a strip club. Well, you're giving money to strippers. Like, wow, I got the stripper to do something for me because I paid her money. It's like, well, that's what strippers do. I gave money to the guy at McDonald's to give me food. He gave me food. In this case, though, he's paying all this money just to hurt you. He's intentionally trying to break you down. There's a sinister, vindictive side to The Weeknd now, from just the character that he's portraying here. And, it's getting darker. It's getting a little scarier. All red lamb just to tease you on. Well, all red Lamborghini just to tease you. So he's not buying the Lamborghini because he likes Lamborghinis and he thinks they look cool. He's trying to make you feel bad. There's an intention behind what he's doing. None of these toys on lease to us, so he just bought them outright. He's got that much money. Good for him. Major hold year in a week too, yeah. So he makes a ton of money. Way more than you do. Main bitch out of your league. Side bitch out of your league. He's got lots of women. So he has all the trappings of fame. So why is he so mad? Why is he so angry? Why is there so much, like I said, a vindictive slant to what he's doing? Not sure. But that definitely doesn't seem like the kind of person who sounds happy with his situation or is happy with where he is. So let's move on. And it gets even darker after that. House so empty, need a centerpiece. His house is obviously big. Why would you need a centerpiece there? Well, it's empty. It doesn't feel lived in. There's nothing actually there. Now, you could read this as the house is so big, it feels empty. But in actuality, I think what he's saying is his house is empty. He needs to fill it with things. And a lot of times when we talked about our house and our home, we're talking about our inner home, our inner house, our heart, our emotions. And I think that's what he's getting at, is that my house is so big, or so empty, excuse me. I need a centerpiece. He needs something to fill the void that's within him. 20 racks a table cut from ebony. So ebony tables cost 20,000, It's no big deal. Like, even though this is like a throwaway line, it just goes to show that he doesn't actually care about these things. It's good that he has them, you know, but he's just like, whatever, they're there, you know, they hold no meaning to him and no feeling to him. And so what we're seeing is we're seeing somebody who's feeling empty inside. Cut that ivory into skinny pieces, then she clean it with her face. Man, I love my baby. Cutting the ivory into skinny pieces is a reference to cocaine. Cleaning it with her face. Man, I love my baby. So think about it this way: like the only way he can experience love now is through the idea of drug addiction, is the idea of somebody being addicted to drugs and being completely wasted, screwed up, out of their mind. This is the only way he can see any love, have any feeling. Things have to be so warped and so changed and so different from what he was before, that now this is how he experiences love. This is how he experiences anything. It has to be through the lens of excess. It has to be through the lens of opulence. That's not who he was before, but it's who he is now. So let's look at what we've got in terms of like our character so far. He is vindictive. He is got all the trappings of fame, and they're little trappings, but he's feeling empty inside. And the only way he can experience things is opulence equals good, excess equals good. That's the only way he can understand things. And then so let's go on, right? You talking money, need a hearing aid. You talking about me, I don't see the shade. You know, people say these things to him, and it doesn't faze him. It makes no impact upon him. So that's what's kind of nuts, is that he's no longer affected by anybody talking about him, by any sort of money, anybody else. You know, in a way, he's completely selfish in that sense, that nothing affects him at all. No feelings get in. And that's where I think, you know, this is, like I said, the darker turn of this song is coming through here. He doesn't feel anything. Nothing affects him. And that can be good in a sense that you don't let the negative stuff get to you, but the positive stuff is not getting to him. You know, he's got all this money. It's great. Who cares? He doesn't give a shit. Switch up my style. I take any lane. I would assume that's another car reference. Just, you know, he's referencing cars, and sort of cars are the idea of opulence to him. I switch up my cup. I kill any pain. See what he's doing here? He's saying, I got all the drugs I need. Why do you need that? He doesn't feel anymore. He's trying to kill the pain. He's switching things up. So anytime he feels something legitimate or real, he switches it up. He takes another lane. He switches up. He kills the pain. So that's what I'm saying. This song is not just a bragging song. It really is a song about a guy who has changed into something that he didn't think he would. He's become something else. He's become this unfeeling just thing, this thing that's bigger than he ever thought he would be. And that's why the chorus actually strikes so hard to me. Look what you've done. I'm a motherfucking Starboy now. Now, some could argue that Starboy just means super cool guy, super awesome dude. And I believe in Jamaica that is what it means. So it's entirely possible that's what he's referencing. But I'll be honest, I think he means something else. I think it means that he is a star boy. He is a person of space. He is just out of this world. He is no longer a part of this world. And he's a boy. He's a child. His emotions don't make sense anymore. He doesn't know how to experience things as a mature adult, a fulfilled adult. He's a star boy. He's a child. And so he has all these things that you're supposed to want when you're a kid, but he doesn't know how to feel anymore. He has no connection to the real world anymore. And you did it. You, the public, did it. You turned him into this. I don't think that's what he wanted. I'm just judging by everything he sort of said up here. You know, yes, I realize it does sound like bragging, but to be honest, look what you've done. He's blaming you, the public, the people responsible for making him famous, and turning him into this fucking Starboy and this thing that just consumes and is vindictive and has money and doesn't care and doesn't feel. These things are meaningless to him, and he understands that, and he knows that, but there's nothing he can do anymore. He can't change. Look what you've done. Now I'm a Starboy. You know, and here comes the next verse. And so now that we sort of have that set up, we can view things through that lens, and it just keeps on piling on this idea of just him being an unfeeling, uncaring monster, money monster, basically. Every day a nigga trying to test me, every day a nigga try to end me, pull off in the Roadster SV, pockets overweight getting hefty, right? Roadster, I think that's another Ferrari or Lamborghini kind of car. But, you know, people are trying to mess with him. People are trying to end him. He doesn't care. No big deal. He's like, I got money, so what? Like, that's his answer for everything. It's just money and cars. Money and cars. This is all I am now. Coming for the king, that's a Far Cry. I would assume that's a reference to Far Cry, like 4 or something like that, where there's actually a quest to kill a tyrannical king, i.e. him. So he's comparing himself to a tyrant, to a tyrannical king, to somebody who just consumes and kills and destroys. And that's it. I come alive in the fall time. I believe this is a reference to Legends of the Fall, which he does also reference later on, which is saying he comes alive when things are down, when things are going bad, when things are going terrible. And the crazy part is things are going so good, he no longer feels alive. No competition. I don't really listen. I'm in the Blue Mulsanne bumping New Edition. So I think his choice of New Edition is very, very meaningful. He absolutely meant to use the band New Edition because he's referring to himself and he's saying that I am a new edition now. I am no longer the artistic, passionate person that I was before. Now I'm a guy that is consumed by money and by greed, and I have to have these status symbols, and this is all I am now. This is my new edition. So if you watch the video, this is really neat. In the video, he is swinging a cross, a Christian cross that's a lightsaber, and he's smashing everything in his house. And he's basically saying, I am becoming something else. Everything that I was before, these things, it was in his own house. So he's destroying all the things in his own house. And he's basically saying, this is not, whoever I was before is gone. And I'm literally destroying it before your eyes. Now I am something else. I am this thing, this entity that you have turned me into. You, the public, have made me this fame monster. And that's who I am now. And it's really, really poignant because at the beginning of the video, he literally kills himself. You know, at the beginning, you're like, you see him getting choked and then he dies. And you're like, whoa, shit, he died. And then some guy is walking off and is like, you presumably going to rob the house. And he takes his mask off. And it's him with a new haircut and a new look. And it's like, this is the new person he's become. And so it's very, very obvious that he is talking about the death of who he was and the new thing that he has become, this new person that he has become. You know, and that's why New Edition was such a neat, interesting, and impactful choice, because he's saying, I am a new edition now. I am something that I was not before. You know, then of course, pre-chorus and chorus again, and verse 3. And then he goes, let a nigga brag pit, Legend of the Fall took the year like a bandit. So a lot of people thought he was referring to the movie Legend of the Fall, but that movie wasn't exactly a big movie or even necessarily that good of a movie. But the big part of that movie is the fall, the idea of a bunch of bad shit happening to these people. And took the year like a bandit. I mean, he's kind of referring to himself, like I kicked ass and I stole this year. But really what he's saying, he's picking, like I said, he's picking these movies and these references for a reason. And so what he's saying here is that he is aware of the fall. He is aware that his legend will be described in his falling. So he is actually very aware that the thing he has become is not sustainable. He's very much going to not be able to keep this up, and he's going to fall, just like everybody did in that movie. Bought mama a crib and a brand new wagon, hit the grocery shop looking lavish. Okay, so it's more bragging, Yay, fixed up my mom. Star Trek roof in that Wraith the Khan. That's another reference to I want to say a Maserati. Basically, the roof is lit with stars and stuff like that. But he's also referencing Star Trek, which is an incredibly nerdy thing to do, and he's intentionally changing Wraith of Khan. And so there's a lot of wordplay in that. But notice the next line, girls get loose when they hear this song. So he's actually referencing the idea that he can fucking say anything, even something super really nerdy, and girls will still get loose and still get hyped to what he's saying. And there's a lot of bravado in this, but there's also, like I said, this lack of caring. He's like, I don't care. Who cares? Like, I'm not trying to make good art anymore. I'm just going to say whatever the fuck I want. I'm going to say stupid shit. People will get loose and it won't matter. So I don't have to try anymore. I don't have to put passion and energy into my projects. I can just do this. And even though I will inevitably fall, it's too late. It doesn't matter. I've got all these things, you know. And he's also referencing the wrath of Khan, and he's comparing himself to a villain in that sense. You know, his wrath will come to pass. And even though Khan isn't like a full-on villain in the movie, the idea here is that he is becoming a villain, and he will fall. And then we go on to the last two lines, which I think are very, very poignant. 100 on the dash, get me close to God. So the only way that he gets any sort of excitement is to tempt fate, is to tempt death. He's going super fast. 100 on the dash is referring to his car. And get me close to God. And the last line, we don't pray for love, we just pray for cars. Boom. And this line solidifies everything he's been saying up until this point. He doesn't love anymore. He's not looking for love. He's not asking for love. He only wants the material things. He only wants these things that are just money driven and materialistic. And so he's getting them. And guess what? He's not happy. He doesn't, but he has no capacity anymore to be happy. He just only wants the material. And that's what a Starboy is to him, and that's what he has become. And that's why I think this song is actually surprisingly sad, because it's like, it really is representative of the death of the artist, death of the artist, death of his integrity, and death of love and passion that he used to have. He doesn't want it anymore. He just prays for cars. He is who he is now, and he can't take it back. And yes, he may blame the fans, you know, and the media and these, you know, these other entities for him becoming a Starboy, but he sought it out. You know, he was the one who wanted all these things. And now that he has them, he realizes how empty they actually are. And that's why House So Empty, Need a Centerpiece is such an interesting line relative to this line now, because it's like, this is all he wants is the material things, but he realizes how empty his house actually is. He realizes the thing that represents all of his accomplishments is empty, is gone. And so he has realized the meaninglessness of his new existence, but it's too late. He can't go back. He has to be who he is now, and this is who he is. And so it's really sad in that sense, because this song is actually, like I said, it's about the death of who he was. And he's a new person now, but this person is a monster. This person does not feel and only wants money and only wants the basest of things that he could get. And so, yeah, I mean, that's the song. And I think this teaches us, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you are striving to do. And make sure that you are approaching it from a place of love and a place of passion, and not from a place of material wealth and money. Because if you do so, you may get all the things that you want, and you may find yourself hollow and empty inside, just like this guy who's a Starboy now, you know? It's kind of nuts. And like I said, it is a cautionary tale. Yeah, so that's it. That's the video. Hope you guys liked it. Thank you so much. Keep learning, keep rocking. Rockstar, we'll see ya later. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to see more videos, you can see the most recent videos here. You can see a recommended playlist here. And if you want to subscribe, you go right here. Thank you so much. Keep learning, keep rocking, and the Rockstar will see you later.